Hey guys, a couple days ago the weather was mild. Went outside and shot a nice ride segment. Was going to go out and shoot the B-roll, and as I was getting ready, the governor came on television and announced an emergency stay-at-home order punishable by jail time and fines. So no leaving the house for riding the Spyder. Never in my life have I ever experienced this. I mean, you got to put it in perspective. For the first time in the history of man, the entire earth is battling the same problem, this global pandemic. I don't think we're really halfway through it yet, and I hope I'm wrong, but looking at the numbers, by the day I'm shooting this, we're probably going to go over 1,000 deaths a day in the United States from this pandemic, and it's only going to get worse. So I think this is one of those things that we are living through a moment in history that will go down in history books, and people will ask you, your grandchildren will ask you, what did you do during the great pandemic of 2020? So it's remarkable times we live in. Anyway, enough gloom and doom. I did shoot a nice video, shot it with the Prism camera only, so we're going to go ahead and roll on to that video. Oh, hey guys, it's the last Friday in March, and I can't tell you what the date is because I don't remember. But I know it's the last Friday in March because I'm paying all the bills for the first of the month, and we're still doing our social distancing. And I thought, you know, a Spyder ride and through the country by yourself qualifies as social distancing, so that's what we're going to do. You know, and I'm fond of saying that because of my career as a first responder that I have seen so much and experienced so much that nothing scares me. Nothing scares me because I feel like I deal with almost anything that pops up because I've done it numerous times. But I got to tell you, this coronavirus, it scares me, and I don't know how to respond to that because I haven't been scared in so long. You know, look at the pattern. Lord knows how bad this can get, not just for the health and life of so many people, but also for the infrastructure that supports our life. You know, I hope it stabilizes itself out and doesn't have any adverse effects. But you know, I think the toilet paper shortage may be just an omen, and I really hope I'm wrong. One of the challenges that the city is facing, I'm sure many cities are in similar boat. Our economy has always been stable because it was based on tourism and military, two very stable forms of income. Of course, the city's income is based on real estate tax and sales tax, and a little bit of money from the federal government and state government. But with the amount of revenue that's not coming in because of sales tax, the city is actually talking about, for the first time ever, and I do mean ever, since the city was created in the early 60s, doing furlough of employees. There's just talk right now. There's no policy or plan, but they're trying to figure out how they're going to do that. And you got people who went to work for city government for several reasons. City government is a stable environment. Miriam talked about this often. In the private sector, her counterpart gets paid a lot more money than she makes, a lot more money. But she opted to take less money for a stable paycheck because she was raising 2 kids, and they had a pretty straightforward retirement. It was health care, so she opted to take less money for the stability. And I think that a lot of other people have too. And the problem is now we're talking about laying people off. But it's not just the city, it's or the state, it's everywhere. When businesses aren't operating, there's no income stream. You know, but I got to keep reminding myself how blessed we are. You know, so far we're healthy. And the coronavirus has not struck our family. It hasn't adversely impacted our family. My stepdaughter, Katie, has been furloughed from her teaching jobs and schools are closed. At least I think that's the status at the moment. Several of the other people that we follow on YouTube, been following for a long time. One is a channel, Gone with the Winds. They were formerly RVers and decided to change over to a sailboat. They have seen so much of the world through the RV that they want to get on the water. And the last couple of years I've been sailing on a very large catamaran. They came home to visit family and had their sailboat parked at a tropical island way out in the South Pacific. And we're trying to get back to it about the time that the world started grinding to a halt. And last video we saw, they're stuck on an island that they can't get out of because the little island nation where their sailboat is has quarantined the entire island. Nobody can come in, so they can't get to their sailboat, and they're stuck at a rental house in another tropical island, and they're just stuck there. The other couple we follow, we've even we're Patreon subscribers to give them a little extra money to because we love what they do. We've been following them for so long. Let's Jump More Journey. They are full-time RVers. They're a family. There's 4 of them now. And what they have done is they have a piece of land at their hometown in Tennessee that they have set up with power, water, and sewage, so they can bring their RV back, and they have their own permanent campground, sort of a base of operations, where they have family there. And they had to cut their Florida trip short and come home because of the virus. Another gentleman we've been following since I have a fond appreciation of the Appalachian Trail. He was through hiking the Appalachian Trail. It was his first attempt. He's in our age group, and he was doing good. He made it through the Smoky Mountains, and all of a sudden his video stopped. And he produced one that said he had come out of the Smoky Mountains, found out about the virus, and decided it's probably good to be with his family. So he terminated his trip, which is sad because it's for so many people, the Appalachian Trail, to do it all in one season is a pilgrimage. And a lot of planning, a lot of prep, a lot of broken hearts. But, got a nice break in the weather. The last couple of days it's been rainy and cold. Today it's in the 70s, mid-70s. So I decided to get out and get some wind therapy, get the oil circulate through the Spyder, and see if I can calm down my mind. You know, a bit of irony. It's been a couple of years, I think, maybe 2 years ago. I went through all my old military gear trying to downsize. A lot of the military gear I used when I was a first responder. And one of them was my M17 gas mask. That's the gas mask that they issued me when I was in the Air Force, and it worked well as a first responder, well above the issued gas mask that the city gave us. And what makes it even better, besides the fact that it fit better, was that the filters that I had issued in the gas mask were biological and chemical warfare filters. And I even had a spare set of filters that were sealed and never opened for biological and chemical warfare. So I was thinking last week, how ironic, when right now I could probably use a gas mask that would filter out biological pathogens, and I tossed it in the trash can. Frustrating fact, the weather's going to start to turn warm, and we are trying to self-quarantine. and social distancing, and there's a lot of things around the house I need to be doing. I have the time to do it now, but I am not fond of the idea of going to the hardware store to buy the materials that I need. Should have kept the gas mask. We are at the intersection of downtown Pungo. What is Pungo? Well, it's a zip code. It's got a gas station, 7-Eleven, a restaurant, and a little convenience store over there. That's it. Pungo is famous because of the witch of Pungo. There was a woman that was accused of witchcraft. I forget the date, and they actually did this test by water, trial by water, up at the north end of the city, and the name of the road that went to at the point where they gave her that trial by water is called Witch Duck Road. Very famous. She was known as the Witch of Pungo, and just because she was a woman and she wore pants and she acted like a man, they presumed that was witchcraft. What a time we lived in. Also, there was a local TV show back in the 70s. You can still find it on YouTube, called Dr. Mad Blood. It was filmed in downtown Norfolk area, and it was supposed to be based here in Pungo because of because of the humorous name. And he was a mad scientist that had that'd be the setup, and they would host Friday night monster movies and sci-fi horror movies and things like that. But they had little skits and these reoccurring characters. It was very, very entertaining, very nostalgic to look back at those old videos. That's pretty much all there is to Pungo. So I mentioned before that Miriam works for Human Resources for the police department. She's not a sworn officer, she's a civilian. And I gotta tell you, the sworn law enforcement folks who are very strong-willed take a dim view of civilians telling them what to do, but especially when it comes to HR policies. But that's why she's there, because they're kind of stubborn that way. We are in unknown territory administratively with the police department, so she has been working her butt off trying to develop and implement new policies for leave and healthcare leave and emergency situation, emergency staffing. As you can imagine, the guys and gals doing the first responding really don't have the gear I think they should have. They're sort of gearing up, but they're behind the power curve. And of course, she's over there. She has to work as much as she can because she's the one helping to implement the policy. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up today's video. I appreciate you watching. You all stay safe, stay healthy, stay inside, wash your hands, and just to be on the safe side, wash your feet too. So, until next time, y'all take care. Thanks for watching.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Feel free to leave a comment below.